That's where the discernment, that's where all of the above. And you see, I like that you said that. You said the believe, the know, and the become. I think this is what separates people.
Yes, it
completely.
Is.
Because a lot of people, we know shit.
Right.
Like we...
Go ahead.
Just you know how you trying to think of a positive example in all honesty. But you know, we all know climate change is very real. I mean, we're living one of the hottest summers, and the next year is just going to be hotter. Like it's just crazy. Like remember when Florida actually used to be cold in December, November, and now it's like, oh, we're going to the beach because it's 90 degrees. Yeah. Besides the point. But you know, like people know, like that's people know.
Yeah.
The knowledge now of, okay, well, this is what we can do. These are the acts, treaties, policies we can sign to make sure that we can stay afloat and not burn.
Right.
Or, you know, whatever, you know, have our coral reefs and our ecosystems die.
Yeah.
And then the become is literally doing your part to save the environment. Exactly. A lot of people... They know. With life, they know. They see it. They say it's hot too. They sweating. They turning red in the skin. Okay, or purple, whatever color you are. Okay, because I turn black. Okay, shit.
Indigo.
Like black as the table black. You hear me? It is not cute, but it's not. No, who child in my nose? That's besides the point. But.
Well, first of all, hold on. Before you continue, black is beautiful. Go ahead.
No, black is very beautiful, but I look Aborigines. Like, I'm sorry that when you pull up an Aborigines photo, when you do this, edit, you'll see what I mean. Okay?
Okay. I think you know it's when they have a mental picture of like an Australian Aborigine who's dark skinned with like blue eyes or something like that.
That's me. Just don't have blue eyes. And again, they're beautiful as hell, but I've been there too many times to be like, Taylor, this is not your tone.
Yeah.
This pigment ain't for you.
Got you. Okay. Dick. But
like I look like blackface.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wish I was lying.
I know what you mean.
So think of that. Fuck Aborigines. I look like blackface, and I'm not. So regardless, though, so people know all the above, but they will not do their part. They won't vote for the right candidates who will actually put things into place or anything like that. But yet they're the same people complaining about how hot it is.
Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna hold you. So funny enough with me, I am a registered independent when it comes to voting and stuff. And a part of me does feel like, yes, voting does matter, but I feel like we give it a little bit more juice than it actually is. Like we add more sauce on it than we know. This is my opinion. I mean, we add more sauce on voting only because we, for lack of a better phrase, we put too much faith in our elected official.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're completely right about
that.
That's
what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
The only reason why it's kind of like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Because we put too much faith in them, but the thing is, they are the ones that can flip the script compared to you and me flipping the script. Like true. We can do our part. We can educate people, nonprofits, you name it. Like we can do the grassroots for sure. Right. But the ones, sadly, that really have like that pen to paper.
Right, that lever of power.
Literally, that's where the voting makes sense. And then even with voting, and you have to educate people, not you, but in general, people on voting too. Like with the presidential election, like we know the 2 or 5 main people on the ballot, but you're voting for other things that strongly affect you. So like when people say, I just didn't know who to vote for president, it's like, okay, that's fine, but there are other things that
everything that state and that local, and
that's really what really matters for you and I, especially here in South Florida. Like, that's what matters. Like, okay, you didn't. We're not even gonna get into that. You didn't know who to vote for president, sure, but at the same time, you're elected,
officials,
local officials
who. First of all, property tax. Second of all, schooling, housing, zoning, whether your potholes get fixed. Goddamn, like all those shits matter.
All of that matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Put climate change in there too. That shit matters.
Of course it does.
So I get it. Yeah, we put too much on it, but it's one of those things where it's like,
Right. Yeah.
Pull the lever, Crunk.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a tool. It's a tool in the tool belt that we have to use and stop pretending like, oh, it's just we don't really need it. No, we do.
We do.
And we have to actually practice it. You don't got to be like, because I'm not the most like, what's the word I'm looking for? The most gung ho about this shit. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, everybody needs to go. It's like I'm just like, I need to do it. Other people do need to do it, and I am going to do it for two reasons. One, because I understand the importance of it, especially on the state and local level. Because presidents is nigga, that's gonna be a toss up. That's the electoral college. Y'all got that. State though,
yeah.
Local, yeah. We need that.
That severely affects us.
Yeah, like, and directly affects us.
More heavy.
Yeah,
for sure. Like obviously, we know what the hell is going on, and it's still affecting us. However, what DeSantis is doing too is really like what is it? An alligator, like a detention center, like disgusting.
Was telling me this morning. I was like, you're gonna put a jail in the middle of the Everglades? It's crazy.
And then guess what? That's our ecosystem.
Exactly.
Going. That's protected land, actually. So I don't even understand how he can do that. But
I don't think he. I
don't think it's like directly there, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
But it's still just like, why?
Exactly. Like
that's still going to mess up our ecosystems. That's still, like again, we can go on and on about that.
Right.
But just
Taylor,
like the knowing the becoming.
Facts. I knew you were an animal lover. I didn't know how much of an animal lover you are.
I love me some. I like animals more than people.
Fair.
I really do.
Fair. That makes sense because they're
I really do.
Yeah, they're more honorable than people. Like if you feed an animal, they gonna rock with you.
Want me to tell you why I like animals more than people?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like, and you may laugh, but hear me out. Animals don't lie.
Yes, that's exactly why.
They don't lie. Like when you see a snake, you know exactly what the fuck it is.
That's true.
That's
true.
Are they strategic? Yes. Or is he probably gonna play nice with me? Try to figure out, like, especially like an anaconda or something. Like he gonna size me up. Oh, okay, I'm gonna come near you. I'm not gonna bite. I'm gonna come near you though.
Yeah, and then slowly
just slither my way. Next thing you know, the bitch I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm in its stomach. But I think animals, animals are they're a good sense of self, in all honesty.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and they say that with babies too, like when babies just instantly attract you and animals instantly attract you, you can tell who the person is soulfully. And they just validate. They validate my ass, okay? Because when you have people calling you a self-righteous skank, and whatever negative things that they want to say about you when they don't really even know you like that. Yeah. But then when I see like a stray puss just come to my leg and just and then leave, I'm just, and the way cats are so like skedaddle and all the above, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Dogs
and that's
too,
fair.
Animals too. Like my fear is that I'm going to go to Africa and I'm going to just be like, come lion.
Ace Ventura.
Literally, like that's what I feel like.
Right.
I'm just going to stand out in the middle of the friggin', what is it? The Serengeti. And just talk to me.
But no, I feel you. I completely agree. Cause like I've noticed that with little babies, children in general, like you almost know. Teachers know this. I don't know if they like to admit it, but teachers know that when kids come up to you and like start spilling all the tea about stuff, you like, bro, I don't even want to hear all this. And but they come to you because they like, yeah, we need some of your energy, we need some of your vibe, please.
Exactly. Before they get morphed. Yeah. Especially the pre-puberty stage. It's like when kids, as we all know, are the most innocent. Like they don't know better. They're learning whatever the case is. Yeah, they get in trouble, but that's literally innocence right there. Facts. So like when you said when teachers know, like mind you, I'm not a teacher, but I work in the school.
Exactly.
And literally like maybe month 3 of me being there, I'm having visitors come to my office, mostly kids. Like I literally have a little crew that comes in and they're like, Miss Taylor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And then they come, they hug, they do this. And I'm just like, oh God, what's your name? What's your name? And then they bring more.
Exactly.
And then they bring more. And sometimes I'm like, okay, Miss Taylor has a meeting. You guys can't stay. And then they just get so sad. And I'm like, oh, thank you, but no.
Right.
I can't deal with y'all today, but no, but for real though. It's the innocence. But no, in general, I love animals. I really do. I have a thing for animals. I told my mom if I was to ever go before her, just get my ashes and put that bitch in the ocean. Let the fish eat me. Like, do what it do. I even told him, like, I should just throw my body in there. And she was like, Taylor, I can't do that. I'm like, oh. She was like, no, I'm pretty sure I have to be cremated first. Right. I'm like, okay, well, whatever you got to do. I don't want to be no damn boss.
That'll be a big problem.
Right. I mean, I literally was like, yeah, just throw me in there. She was like, first of all, I will never do that. Literally and absolutely not. Right. Because I will be going before you. However, no, Taylor. I can't.
That's hilarious. But no. And little kids and animals for a fact, because even when we was at DJ House and I'm like, the dogs, like before, right when they were about to get on you, I remember they was like, I was like, all right, but I don't want to be licked. Please don't. But
then you see her dogs.
Yeah.
Them ferocious sausages, like my God, like anytime I enter DJ's house, like even when I'm with her too, like she'll open the door, she'll be like, "Hi, kids," and they'll run right past her, and come straight to me. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, poor thing." I mean, obviously they love her, but I'm like, DJ, you know,
right?
You know, I'm pretty sure I could take Cody home right now, and he would not miss your ass. Langston's a different story. Cody though,
right.
Bobby, Christina, and Kingston, bitch, you nobody. Them dogs will taking who where, like mommy, mommy, like no.
That's hilarious. No, but facts though, facts. But yeah, man, little kids and babies, or excuse me, little kids and animals. Yeah, facts.
Especially babies. Like when babies get to, like obviously when they're young, they, they're squirmish, whatever. But then when they get to like that tender age or tender month, and there's certain people they don't want to go to and they do want to go to. Like, not saying that people are bad, but it's like
they pick up on energy, dog.
Their soul feel comfortable with. That's really what it come down to.
Yeah, we be swearing that kids are foolish and inexperienced. And I mean, yes, to like the ways of the world, yeah, of course. But like they know.
They're the closest thing to God.
Exactly. They came right from us. So it's like, they light recognize light. Let's say it that way. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. A part of me wants to go back to really quickly.
Yeah.
The believe, know, and become. Because I feel like
everyone's in the know.
A lot, no. Most people are still in the belief stage, believe it or not.
You're right. There's really levels to this shit.
Yeah, and I think what funny how this connects to mental health and spiritual health and therapy in general is like a lot of people believe certain things, but they're not committed to the process to become a person who knows. What you laughing at?
Because I can go so many different ways. You just reminded me of something. It can go so many different ways.
Yeah,
I completely agree with you.
It does.
And you see, and I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench.
Okay.
If that's what it's called. Yeah. That has a lot that plays a part with religion too.
Oh, of course.
Because we know the Bible is God's word for sure. I feel like the issue, and I'm trying to make sure I say this as plain Jane as possible.
Right.
I feel like the issue with studying the Bible is you have to study the history with it.
Okay. Fact.
So, for example, we know, I don't know how many books are in the Bible. I know it's a lot of books.
I think it's 67.
67? Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think it's that.
Probably. So we'll just say 67. If it's not, then apologies.
Go ahead. Why are you talking? I'm going to look it up really quick. Go ahead.
So there's 67 books in the Bible, but there is proof and known fact that there are a lot more.
Right.
A lot of people know that, but they don't want to, believe it.
Right.
What bothers me too is that especially the King James Version is really one of the most popular versions because that's when there's a little bit of history around it. Like, that's when they were eradicating, doing all the aboves. And then that was like the English at that, not the vernacular at the time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the King James Version, everyone knows like thou shalt not and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then we have to study the history of that time too. Like we had a podcast like months ago about how King James.
Go ahead. Go finish your thought before I talk.
You're fine. But like King James, know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But because of his possible self-hatred of his feelings, that's when the whole, well, Sodom and Gomorrah was about homosexuality and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, if we study the history of that time.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of fuck shit going on.
It was a whole bunch of stuff. And then on top of that, like, if we really want to get technical, there are so many animals without any human interaction that practice homosexuality. That's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but it's but the thing is, guess what? That's known. Look it up if you want to. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm not focusing it on homosexuality, although it is Pride Month. But I'm just saying, like, it is also like we have to study the history with the Bible.
Right.
We have to. And then I think about, and the reason why I laughed is because, you know, we do our numbers thing.
Yeah.
I've said many times, God definitely speaks to me, and he speaks to me through numbers, through like our own conversation that many people probably will not understand. Some people, they, and I think I'm one of those too. I tap into my more ancestral ways of communicating with God. So I'll put some Florida water in my bath and just feel holy. I'll light some sage. I'll do this.
Quick question, really quick. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. What is, because you said Florida water earlier, and I'm like, Florida water? What? I feel like I've heard of it, but what exactly is it?
I'm gonna actually just, because I can tell you what it is for me, but I want to tell you
the technical definition.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So
why are you looking that up? So real quick, there's 66 books of the Bible.
66. Okay, well we were close. Well, you were close, I should say.
Yeah. And and go ahead.
No, you're fine. So Florida water, at the end of the day, Florida water is a cologne.
Okay.
So you can literally, it's at Publix, it's at Navarro, it's at literally at almost any grocery store chain, Walmart, whatever. However, Florida water is a popular cologne with spiritual significance, widely used in various traditions for cleansing, protection, and healing. Its aromatic blend of citrus and floral scents combined with its alcohol base makes it versatile for rituals, offerings, and even as a personal fragrance.
Gotcha.
So like ritual baths, like that's what I put in my shower. It's frequently added to bath water for spiritual cleansing, removing negative energy and promoting purification. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I put that bitch in my bath and I bathe, I lather, I talk to God, I do whatever, I really do come out feeling instantly a lot better. Like when I had a day, I literally, and I go in, you know, the steam, because, you know, we burn in like Satan's tears because of the hot water.
Satan's tears
like,
dive all over there.
It is like, my water is hot. You hear me? So it be steaming. And then just having that aroma, just, you know, cleansing my feet, because your feet literally are the pathway to your body. It makes, I come out and I'm just like, deep breath.
Got you.
Really feels deep breath.
Got you.
So
interesting.
Yeah. But the thing is, I've had Florida water since I was literally baby. So that's what I grew up on.
Got you.
However, when I've spoken to like maybe one friend in particular, I've spoken to her about certain things. She's like, "Ooh, girl, that sounds like voodoo. That sounds like da-da-da." And it's just like, let's stop that.
Right.
Because there's a lot of ways to connect with God besides the obvious. And I hate people always demonizing things when, again, they don't know.
They don't have enough knowledge about it.
And that's where the three come in, because you believe, and I had to tell my friend this the other day, I'm like, you clearly believe in voodoo and stuff like that. Like, you know it's there, but why is it that you don't want to educate yourself about it?
That'd be my thing with people.
Like,
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I get it. That's where the understanding comes in. But I would rather educate myself. But that way, if you see me using Florida water, you're not assuming that I'm doing voodoo.
Yeah, you ain't talking to a Loa or whatever.
Right. Like,
What
is that? Like, you clearly don't understand. Again, it's just more ancestral. It's just
facts.
More roots.
And exactly, that's kind of the point that I was getting at, because so, because my brain is like going a million miles a minute. So the reason why I go back to those three is because I understand how God created things in sequences and why they're like that for a reason. So when I see things like people believing but not knowing, a lot of people believe in a lot of negativity and a lot of foolishness and a lot of craziness, but they don't. Even if you don't know enough about voodoo, why the hell don't you just research it? Fuck liking it. I get that you believe in God, but have enough faith in God to know that God is more powerful than any foolishness.
Exactly.
One, and then two, actually just go study it as a scientist.
Exactly. Like that just shows, like, I love that you said that. That just shows me that your faith is weak. That's just how I feel, because I understand a rabbit hole, because I have another friend where anytime they get into something, they do the research, but the problem is they go down a rabbit hole and then they start trying to practice this like black magic, going to a cemetery and lighting candles, and it's just like, what are you doing that for?
Right.
What are you?
What's the benefit?
What is the benefit of that? Like, do you really understand? Like, that's not. You don't have to do all that, but you know it's true. But you also don't know what spirits and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And people are like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. And how can you not believe in spirits? Like, I'm confused how people don't believe in spirits personally. Like, I don't.
Me too.
I don't get that. I be seeing them bitches sometimes. Like, someone here? Like, you know, like sadly, but at the same time,
no,
like,
facts. You're right.
How you not? You need to know what energy is in your house.
Exactly.
And then if there is energy, you need to get that bitch out. Whether it's you reading some passages, opening the door so that windows, whatever, so that they can get out.
Right.
Lighting some sage or Palo Santo, whatever the fridge nid you want to do, opening the door or window, because them bitches gotta get out and get that shit up out of there. That's not demonic. That's not voodoo. That's not like. And I hate when people demonize those things, because it's just like, what do you think they do in the church? That's like, especially when they go down the aisle and that's Palo Santo. Yeah. Honey.
You mean like when the Catholics have their like,
especially the Catholic, like
yeah. They're cleansing,
They are
see, but see, the thing is, a lot of what religion does, and what a lot of people, the thing that I had to realize about how God operates is that majority of people are only going to be, for lack of a better word, believers, or they're gonna skim the surface. They're not gonna do the deep work. They're just not, like, you know how it says many are called but few are chosen.
Oh yes.
Right? Like it's some people who it's some people who ain't even called. and I hold space and grace for that, because I understand, because I was once there. I was like, oh, I only believed, but now that I'm like, all right, God, like, I really want to know you. God was like, hey, bro, you sure? Like, and once you know, it's and just like how you said earlier, you was like, God gonna deal with you accordingly. And that's how I know when
you gonna make an example. Okay. Like when you said, with some are called, few are chosen, whatever.
Yeah. When you're chosen, okay.
You feel it?
When you feel it, and here's the thing about going from belief into knowledge. Once you know something, not just believe it, but once you know, you can't unknow that shit. Ain't no going backwards.
You can't
backslide. Once you know, hey, bro, when I eat this damn cheesecake and there's 1,000 calories, I gotta go work my ass out. Like, when you know that, there's no lying that you could do to you can't lie to yourself. You can't finesse yourself. You can't trick yourself. You really just gotta live with that reality. And I think, and so again, I hold space and grace, because I'm like, well, you know, this is a harder walk now, and even harder than knowing.
It's to become,
because now you got to act it. I think that's what the Bible is trying to teach us with the life of Christ, when it comes to, you know, when people are saying like, oh, you have to bear your cross, that's the process of becoming what Christ called you to become.
Yeah.
And that's a hard job. Like, that's
extremely hard.
That's a hard thing, because that's a day in, day out thing. And a lot of people are just like,
it's just too hard.
It's extremely hard. It's extremely hard. So I again, I hold space of grace to people, but I'm like, bro, like,
it's like a relation. I mean, it is a relationship, but it's like a toxic relationship. Like, you'd rather be in that bitch for 15 years, knowing that she is beating your ass. He does not respect you. She does not respect you. You know, again, both ways. But instead of, oh, look who's calling.
Is that DJ?
Maybe it's DJ. But
like, hey, DJ, you on the pod? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's do it. Oh my gosh, I'm in the podcast with Terrell, so you are technically on the pod.
Oh, well, hello.
Hi, DJ, how are you?
I'm good at yourself.
What is wrong with you?
I'm well, what's up?
I don't know. when you're in things like that, you do have to put on a different voice. So that was my different voice.
You sound the same.
She do.
It was when I said, well, hello. That was my different voice.
You sounded very ratchet still.
Okay.
Goodbye.
But yeah.
She always called me around too, so I wasn't even surprised. But God, her ratchet ass just made me lose my train of thought, low key.
We talk about knowing and
yeah, it's hard. So yeah, like you'd rather stay in that abusive ass relationship in general instead of doing the hard job of coming out, unlearning all of that you did learn in that relationship, and then making yourself better for you and your potential partner. Yeah. It's a very hard job, but some people,
it is.
It's they have the fear of rejection. They have the fear of failure. Right. And I think that's what really gets people. Like they just don't want to fail at something. But little do they know that is literally, if you're not failing, I don't know if you can succeed.
That was listen, my last podcast, or my second to last podcast was about that. Like if you're not willing to fail, you can't fly. Like there's your life can't be better. So you have to fail. And it's okay to. But the society, because I'm like, my brain is again going a million directions. So because we were taught in this society, especially in a white man's world, that that if you don't win, if you don't win immediately, there's something deeply wrong with you. We have such a horrible relationship with failure. You feel me? One of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes that I had to really understand. I was like, I see what he's saying. He said, you always want to learn the way to win, but never the way to lose. Right? Beautiful. You feel me? People always want the yin, but not the yang. They always want our rhythm, but not our blues. You feel so it's this society has conditioned you to believe that to be a failure, there's something wrong with you, as opposed to it being part of the process. This is life. You got peaks and valleys, baby. It's okay.
Literally peaks and valleys. Literally peaks and valleys.
So, but yeah. But again, I hold space and grace for him, because I know deep down, I really know that going from being a believer into a knower.
You see, you're going to see when you look back at this that I made up my face when you said that. Only because you are better than me at giving space and grace, because I feel like I'm at this tender age too, where I feel like we know better. Why don't we just want to do better? And I get it, because I literally just said, I know it's hard. I know it's fear, but why would you not want to bet on yourself?
That's a great question.
I mean, there's a lot of factors. Again,
it is.
I get it, but I feel like for me, I'm tired of hearing people complain.
Oh, me too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, oh my God, woe is me, and da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay. I'm gonna give an example, because this literally happened to me. Yeah. And this is why I'm saying this. I know this person. Okay. And they've been kind of out of a job for like a hot minute. Live with their partner. They're pretty much not contributing shit to the house. They don't even have a license or anything like that, because it was suspended due to like lapse in insurance, something weird. Gotcha. So I sent them this job fair that was happening at the Urban League of Broward. Gotcha. Where they were like, listen, on the spot hire, just pretty much bring your resume, just come. Yeah, just professional. It was a huge job fair. So I sent that to them probably 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I even sent them a text the day of, like, hey, you going to this, right? It was from 10 to 1. So enough time for the most part. Yep. Uber there. Do what you have to do. Ask someone to pick you up and drop your ass off. Right. Whatever you have to do. This is where community comes in. Right. So then they got back to me. And they were like, yeah, no, I didn't go because, pretty much something happened and I had to go to the hospital for this person. I said, okay. Are they okay? What? Oh yeah, they're fine. It was pretty much like I think a diabetic episode, something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's still serious. Right. However, in my head too, I'm like, there were other people at that hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You could have obviously gone, made sure everything was good, but you also could have left and gone to do what you needed to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm saying it very casually because I'm not trying to put too much business out there.
Right.
But what I really mean to say is your ass did not need to be at that hospital.
Right.
Especially when they themselves have a whole community plus that was there
people.
too.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that I understand.
And when I tell you I got so pissed off,
of course,
because you, the main person, complaining that you've been out of work, here's an opportunity, and especially with your credentials, this would have really worked out in your favor.
Yeah, but
you know, you did a noble thing by making sure certain people were fine, but then you're complaining now.
Yeah.
That you always put people first and no one's putting you first and it's like, okay, that's I get it. What the fuck you want me to do?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I feel you. No, I feel.
I've given you, at least me, I did my part. Hey, look, there's a lot of things happening for you to at least get some money, just get your shit situated, blah, blah. But yet you don't take it.
Right.
And yet you're still going to complain to me probably in another week that you, what are we complaining about at this point?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, and you see, that's where, and I feel like that's where my heart is getting very hard because I'm just sick of the bullshit.
Yeah. See, now that's different, but yes, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, of course, situations, you know, because we've had intimate conversations about other individuals that we know where it's just like,
no.
You know, but
yeah. When I say I hold space and grace for the person who believes, it's because in that situation, that person knows better and is choosing not to do better. The people who believe, they're choosing to be stuck in their perception about how things work because at least in their mind, that suits them. It don't really work, but it benefits a part of their ego. It benefits maybe the smallness that they've situated themselves in. So they really feel like a big fish in a small pond.
It's true.
Yes.
And that I completely understand. But where I still have a slight issue is because you literally just said it. Well, with the situation I said, you're like, that person knows better. So yes, I feel like people in the belief stage, they know. They know. It's a difference if you don't know how to get there and you need the help, the guidance, the mentorship, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Or you know, and you just don't want to do better.
Right.
That's where I have the problem because it's different. Because with that situation, like you just said, you know better. Right. There's other people where, let's say they don't know, but you tell them because you're past that stage.
Right.
So you can be like, hey, I think that you should really apply yourself to go after this because that was your original plan.
Right.
I'm comfortable. I don't want to do, and this is literally a situation that I dealt with too.
Gotcha.
I'm comfortable. I can do whatever I want here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, but you want to stay in this position.
Right.
Forever just because you're comfortable and pretty much people cater to you. Your main objective in coming into this situation was to elevate.
Right.
So again, they have the community that tells or encourages them like, hey.
Yeah. What we doing?
What we doing?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, yeah, no, because I'm comfortable. That's where I can't give the space and grace. Now it's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, for example, you with your walk with God, we've had our messages back and forth. You were like, hey, like, what's a good Bible? You know what I'm saying? Like, where can I start?
Yeah.
I gave you my opinion. You did what you wanted with that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because as soon as you said that, I just went what I wanted to buy.
Okay, but
I did it.
But you did it. You
I made the actionable step. Yeah. Yep.
You're going into the become.
Yep.
What, and however that looks. But again, you have a community by you where if you ask us something and we tell you something, vice versa, I'm really going to take that in and be like, Terrell, right? He did say this. Let me figure out, what I need to do, But, and I get that. But then when you have other people where it's like, hey, I thought you, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Don't complain now. Do not complain to me.
Facts.
When the money ain't hitting.
Yeah. I'll be like that with my students. Oh my God. Yes. Go ahead though. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. Like that's just me being.
Yeah. I'll be doing that with my students. I'm like, y'all be wanting. They be saying like, oh, I have favoritism, or for example, I'll be like, they like, oh, you got favorites. I'm like, are y'all trying to guilt trip me? Like I like all of y'all the same. Y'all just treat me different depending on who y'all are. And when I tell them that, they like, oh, but when I don't always be bad. I'm like, yeah, when you not bad, I don't treat you like you doing anything crazy. But when you doing something crazy, I turn up. Oh, but you don't turn up on this person like that. I'm like, because they don't be acting crazy.
They don't be calling me out my name.
Well, none of my kids.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, but
Well, they'll try to call me Terrell, and I'll be like, "Watch your mouth."
Mr. Oh, so they call you Mr. Simpkins or Mr. Terrell?
Yeah, Mr. Simpkins. Oh, but like specifically my fourth graders, or like, and then sometimes even my eighth graders tried it. Like like the last 2 weeks of school, they was like he was like, "Yo, Terrell," and I just ignored him. He was like, "Terrell," and I was just like, "I'm not finna. You're not getting me, bro.
You see me?
You're not finna get me."
I fucked up there, low key, because obviously when I first started, I was Miss Samuel. Personally, well, now y'all know my last name. Personally, it's okay.
I can bleep it out. Don't worry.
It really don't matter to me, in all honesty, because my daddy got locks on my record. But regardless, though, I just no tea, no shade to my daddy. I just don't like my last name. I don't know. Really? It's weird. Not that I don't like it. Like this is me, but I don't like when people call me Miss Samuel.
Got you.
I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like it. So then naturally they'll be like, Miss Sam, and I'm like, oh, like, and they'll literally see me do that. Yeah. And I'm like, just call me Miss Taylor. And then that's where we are. But then like when your students get comfortable, yo, Taylor. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. I should have just stuck with Miss Samuel because now you know my first name. Obviously they know the last name, but then now they drop the Miss, and because they're comfortable, and it's like Taylor, Tay. I'm like, no, not Tay, Taylor.
Right. And I know you do like more admin stuff, so it's a little different because like. I'm pretty sure you still see kids on a daily basis, but they
come to me, yes.
Right. Yeah, they come to you. But see, like when you have them in your class, it's you gotta the line has to be there only because like if you don't set this one straight, it's a ripple effect. It's a domino effect. Like if when this one starts turning up, if you don't stop this one,
exactly,
it's like a what is it? A domino effect for real, but like firecrackers going off. Like you set this charge or you like this shit, like all the kids go haywire.
Literally,
so it's
and that's really what happened. Like kids were Miss Taylor, and I'm like, who are you? Hi, hugs, hi. And I'm like, okay. And I don't mind it. They found me. Trust me, they found me, and I love it. But then I'm just like, ooh. I should have just stuck with Miss Samuel. Like I should, but it really don't bother me. I think it really bothers like the older adults there because like there's this like, oh, Dr. Seeley, Dr. Bursack, Miss Latang, like whatever the case is. Yeah. But me, I'm like, no, just call me Miss Taylor. Like I'm please. Miss, because honestly, when they used to call me Miss Samuel, oh, me? Oh, yeah. Because maybe it's a millennial thing. I don't know. Like I just.
Maybe, and also too, I think I've been in it long enough.
You have. So this is your normal. For me, in my line of work, even in my line of work still now, it's first name. Even when I meet like people that I'm trying to get in partnerships with or whatever, I'm like, oh, hey, Victoria. Hey, da-da-da.
You know what's funny? What they used to do at my old school was in our department. They would say, hey, my name is my, and they'll say, for example, they'll say, hey, my name is Mr. Simpkins, but you can call me Terrell, like to like an adult. So that I've seen, but like, but I don't even really tell the adults my first name, not because I don't want to, but because it's like I'd rather just go by my last name. Like it's funny, one of my homegirls, who I actually got to reach out to, hi Raquel. Anyway, she literally calls me Miss. Like she's older than me, and she still calls me Mr. Simpkins. I'm like, But that's how she knows me. It's just that formal title. So it's weird for her to just... And it's, I think it's funny because her last name is King, Raquel King. And I really got to call you because that's... My bad, guy. Okay, anyway. So it's funny because I call her Miss King too. Like I can call her Raquel, and it's not weird for me. For her, it wasn't.
No, for me too. Like again, the admins, the teachers, I literally call them like, oh, Miss Bigby, Miss like Miss Duran. She's our chief of staff. Like obviously, like I call her that. But our head of school, I call her by her first name. Like it's very because that's how she introduced me.
Gotcha.
She was like, "Hi, I'm Teresa." So going forward, I'll either say, oh, Miss Teresa or Teresa. But like the chief of staff, I was introduced to her as Miss Duran. So I'm like, hey, Miss Duran. And that's just that, like, so how you introduce yourself to me is how I'm literally going to carry it on. So like Dr. Seeley, I call him Dr. Seeley. I don't call him by his first name. Dean Witherspoon, I call him Dean Spoon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that, again, that's how he So that's what I do.
Got you.
That's literally what I do.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Like even my director, I don't call her by her. I'm like Tiffany. Tiffany. Literally. Even at my other jobs, however you introduce me is how I...
Yeah. Did I tell you that my 8th grade students found my old rap page and started calling me T Rizzy? That shit was hilarious. If any of y'all are watching, what up? But that was the funniest thing. Like it was crazy. Take your child to work day.
Crying.
And they Google search my name, another teacher, and it was like, hold up. Because they saw my Facebook page and there's a link to my Facebook page, whatever. And then they were like, wait, hold up. Is that T Rizzy? I was like, yo, it's the funniest thing in the world.
And that's why my Instagram is on private.
I try my hardest not to like laugh. But like at first I didn't, but then after a while, like, because they found it, that was in like March, April. So I'm like, it's all right. I'm gonna see y'all for like another month and a half. It's okay. It's cool.
But you know how I'm pretty sure, like to you, it could be, lack of better words, embarrassing. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, like just the way you feel away. But I think to them,
it's a way to connect.
Like it's a way to connect, and it's like, oh, this man had a life before. Wow. And, you know, whether they think you're good or bad or indifferent, whatever the case is, I think that's just like the humanness.
Yeah, exactly. And they were trying to connect to it because, like, as soon as they found out, it was like, all right, spit some. Hey, spit some.
You know, and I'm pretty sure that made them so happy. They were like, oh my, like, you know, like, oh, he's human.
Okay.
He's human, literally.
You rap? Oh, I rap too. Say less. All right, spit some. It was funny because it's like, okay, I definitely want to joke and vibe with y'all. But and they found it's so funny. They found it like 2 or 3 weeks right before testing. So I was like, I want to, but let's not
lose the focus.
At the test that we could, yeah. As I'm remembering, it was like the tail end of April. So that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, God, you're hilarious. I got you.
I'm pretty sure they love that though.
But they did. They did.
Oh, I love that. Thank God my shit's on private. I mean, I don't have a SoundCloud or nothing, but
no, it was on Facebook. It's like you know how you know how you have business pages or whatever.
Yeah. You had it linked. No, I get that, but I'm just saying, thank God. I think for me, like, I don't have anything bad on my pages, but and that it tails back to what we spoke about in the beginning, where people have this perception of you. I can already tell you what people at my job think about me, and little do these people know. Little do they know. Facts. Because again, I'm everyone mine. It's literally okay. So when I go to work, very professional. Like a little bit of me comes out, but I'm very professional. You know, with everything that I do.
Right, and I'm the same. I think the thing that was so not even embarrassing. The thing that I was so jarred about was the fact that like I couldn't control when it came out. That like the lack of, I guess, control was like, dang, I don't mind them knowing that. I wanted to be the one to tell them.
I want to be the one to break them.
Yeah. because in my mind, I thought to myself like, dang, okay, cool. They found out I rap. That's not the problem. But then if they go back and look at a lyric or a song and they see me cursing at 22 or 23 or whenever I made the page, I can't remember how old I was. If they see me cursing, they gonna want to curse. Oh, you did it! Like they actually found this. They found my podcast. They was like, oh, you got a podcast? Like my one student who used to always try to call me Terrell. Shout out to Perry. He was cool.
I'm pretty sure you're the teacher that's going to change his life.
Probably. But he was like, hold on. So let me ask you a question. So you got a podcast, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, but you be cursing on it though, right? And I'm like, yeah, sometimes. Like, he was like, so why you be getting mad at me when I curse in class?
Because and professionalism.
Well, I said, well, first of all, I do my podcast at the house. Like, we not at home. Like, so, and I think that, like, again, with them finding out my music, it's like, I know the separation. You don't.
Exactly.
You still learning
honest
where I
conversation.
Got it. You feel me? And I told him, I'm like, this is my job. Like, I was like, I'm not at home. That's my podcast. I'm in my house. Like, you know what I mean? So I think he was like, all right, yeah, whatever. All right, cool. But I was like, but you finna tell me? You can't tell me anything. Like, it's not like I'm coming here cursing y'all out. I don't even. First of all, y'all only know I curse because of this. I don't even slip at work. Like, it's like a divide for real. So yeah, it's just funny. So I'm like, no, don't try it. You can't. No.
I slipped a couple times at work when I'm in front of like the high school kids, and they're like, Miss Taylor. I'm like, I'm an adult, okay? Listen, y'all are irking my goddamn nerves. And they're just like, right. But I think they appreciate the realness too. At the end of the day, but they're like, oh, what's your Instagram? I'm like, no, baby.
Yeah.
No. Not again. There's nothing bad on my Instagram, but that's a different.
That's a line.
That's a line. And then, like I said, I already know what people think. Good things, naturally. And even if they ain't, oh well. But I already know how they perceive me. So now just coming on my Instagram, they're going to be like.
Right. How did I get you so wrong? That'd be the thing.
That's literally what they're going to do.
I think that's the thing that kills me. I don't know if this is a Leo thing.
Tell me.
I don't know if this is I could be wrong. And you please tell me if I'm being like, I guess, semi-sexist. Like, as a guy, the way I look at the world is I don't allow myself to project so much onto a person. I literally allow them to show me who they are over time. I almost try my best to look at you as a blank slate, and I'm gonna let Taylor show me who she is, her character, everything through just the course of our interactions, how she operates with me, how she operates with other people, da. I don't come in with preconceived notions.
Same.
Okay.
No, I do the same thing. Everyone has a blank slate, but I don't need personally for me, I don't need no, that's a lie. Because I still need the overtime naturally, but I feel like in the first initial meeting or two, I can tell if I want to fuck with you or not.
Right. Facts,
that type of thing.
We know what the vibe is. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, though. And I will never, I think for me, because I know how it feels, I really don't, although I joke and say I've been judging you since day one, technically I have been, but I really don't judge a book by its cover because because again, me alone, I already...
Right.
Listen, some chapters don't even match. Okay, some chapters really don't match. Big facts. So that's why I said when people are like, tell me about yourself. I really can't. This is something you got to see.
Which part? Like which one?
Well, what chapter should we start on? Because I have stories for days about every type of inch of my life. Low key.
You know what's funny? So funny enough, I think I said on the pod too with Tasia. So when I was like 13, 14, I used to be a little stealer. I used to steal like little things from the store. Like I used to be, and Tasia was like, you was a thief? Like I'm like, I didn't tell you that. And I'm like, it happened maybe, I don't freaking know, maybe for 3-4 months of my life, who knows? And she was like, you used to steal stuff? And I'm like, yeah. Like, and like the fact that she didn't know just threw her off, and it's like so hilarious. I'm like, bro, like I had a life, kid. Like I lived.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So it's funny to actually see how people react to it. But
I love the reactions too.
Me too.
I love the reactions.
Me too. I love the reactions.
I love it. I have to say I love it because it's like, oh, bitch, you thought. Like, how about we just don't think and we just go. All
right. So the point I was making about that was the thing that kills me with that mentality of people. When people start to project onto you, they start to feel like, oh, I know who you are. And it's like, fam, you haven't seen me in every situation. The point being, it's so funny that like people really feel like they got you figured all the way.
And I love it. It's such, and I think that's I have to say that's my little Leo thing. I love when you think, and it's just like, bitch, you don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know, okay?
Exactly.
Little do you know. So when I be dropping my little story, because, you know, like I said, I think, if I'm being honest, and this is just me thinking what I think. I could be wrong. I think the people at my job, they definitely know I'm a very nice person. You know, they know I'm very helpful, all the above, all good shit. But I'm pretty sure they're like, this bitch a little bougie. She a little... Still, she a little uppity because again, I be in there, I be walking. I got my earrings. You know, I always look presentable. Yeah. I'm not cussing people out low key, like the way I speak as well. You know, and then when I drop stories, like, yeah. So when I went shark cage diving,
you did what?
What did you? What?
Beg your pardon?
Yeah. I went and I swam. How old were you? I think I was turning 28. And I'm only 30. So yeah, I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And they're just looking at me. And I'm like, oh, and I said shark cage diving. No. It was actually free reign because the waves were so rough. They didn't want us in the cage because then that would really, I'm not about to be 47 meters deep. Like I saw the movie. So, I'm not doing that. Right. So we were literally freelancing with the sharks. You want to see it? And they were like,
you're this?
And then naturally I get the question, are you black? Girl, yes, I am. But what does that have to do? What you mean? I like thrills. They were like, oh, so you like roller coasters? I'm like, I'm a slut for adrenaline. Like, what do you mean? I love it. And I say it just like that. So then they're like, slut. Yeah. But personally, I love it though, because it's just like. Yeah,
I love proving people wrong.
I really do. Or proving you right and then a little extra. Like
Right. And the thing with me is, I think the thing that I like about it so much is that, like, I love when people who
associate you with your zodiac sign.
No, I love when people not that. I get that, but no, I love when people who believed in the limited version of me sees the full me, and then they get here's the cute part. Here's the cute part. They get mad at you because they like the psychology behind it be tricky because. They don't want to get mad at themselves for like realizing like, damn, they're limited. They put you in a cage, and it's like, but you put me there. I didn't ask you.
Exactly. I'm not a square like you, honey. I'm sorry. I don't even think I'm a shape. I'm just. Listen,
I'm some type of polygon.
I'm something. Maybe I transform. Like I could be a triangle. Maybe next day I might be an octagon. I don't know, but it's not my fault. You a square.
And we gonna end the podcast right there. I like that. It's not. It ain't our fault. It's not our fault that you a square. That's what it is. I like that.
Deadass.
I like that. Well, if y'all still here, which I don't think y'all are, but
I'm crying.
You feel me?
We had good conversation. I'm pretty sure there's at least one or two.
Maybe one. Facts. But this has been Relationship Wise. Peace.